In this episode of Travelogue, join me in the Tibet Autonomous Region as I continue my journey through Linzhi Prefecture. From the lost traditions of the Lorba people to the musical stylings of Gongbu Tibetans, we'll find out that Linzhi people are just as eclectic as their surroundings. So when you come to Tibet, I bet that fruit picking probably isn't at the top of your list. But Linzhi is a bit of a unique case. When you think of Tibet, you kind of think of, massive mountains and the kind of barren landscape you get at 4,000 meters above sea level. But here in Milin, in particular, vegetables and fruit grow really well, particularly because of the climate. You have loads of sun, you have a great source of water in the form of the Niyang River, you have really good soil, and the altitude is only 2,000 meters above sea level on average. So that's why every time when it comes to summer, you get loads of tourists coming here to pick fruits and vegetables and have their own taste of Tibet. Thanks to the lush climate here, Linzhi is one of the few places in Tibet where fruits and vegetables are not more expensive than meat. I am really excited because we've come to Taizhao village, which is home to the ethnic Lorba people, the least populous ethnic minority in all of China. They used to live up in the mountains and have now moved down here where life is slightly easier. They have their own language, their own customs. They don't speak Tibetan at all, but they live in this corner of Tibet. They used to have loads of ancient customs and traditions which have more or less been lost now, but I've been introduced to a gentleman who can tell me a bit about the old Lorba ways of life. 哎，达瓦老师，咱们这些我都不知道从哪开始，这都是您自己做的吗？
这个是我自己做的。以前的话，我们这个东西你是穿的。你是穿的那个一头一头那个这个一头那个一头那个一头这个是我们穿的那个什么衣服，
这些特别有意思。
这个是我们那个女士的那个什么戴的那个
手杖
戴手
哎，你好你好。I can't imagine how all this jewelry is supposed to be worn, but here's where Dawa's daughter comes to the rescue. 那咱们怎么染的这个颜色？
这个颜色，以前的话，我们那个山羊毛那个我们自己那个烧现在这种卖的没有。我们这边那个
装饰啊，不可能天天戴啊。
对，
那么咱们这个这个松石也好，或者这个贝壳也好，戴上很重啊。
重得很。以前的话这么多一点，还有那个这样手里的那个这样的有，这上面有。哇，有多得很。
那不是都走不动了吗？
现在找不到，现在没有吧那个。现在这种东西
找不到，
比较少，找不到。现在卖的也没有。
那咱们一般女孩穿成这样的，是不是要嫁出去？
就是
是吗？有没有嫁出去的吧？
现在没有。
没事，穿上的肯定有了。哇，
好了。
真漂亮。
结婚的时候穿，过年的时候穿。
过年。你喜欢这样穿这种那个？
喜欢是喜欢，太重了。
Well, I don't know. I feel like if you look at Tibetans wearing their traditional dress, the girls have really heavy jewelry on their head, like corals everywhere. I guess kind of similar to here as well. And when they walk out, they have their heads bowed, they have their waists bent, and it makes them look more gentle. Maybe it's I don't know, some kind of similarity there. But this is incredible. Never seen anything like it. 这是再也找不着，别的地方买不到了。
没现在
没办法。
正宗的是很少啊。现在有的是1件2件吧。
这个
就剩那么点。
没有。
为什么剩了那么点？
以前的那是老人死去的时候一起那个 怎么说嘛，丢掉吧，可能一起埋在地里面嘛。
哦，哎，那这些都是女士的，男士的也有这种，也有
这
种
个全都女士的。
哦，
女士
有男装的吗？
男装的，这样的。
哦，这个是男装的，
这个男装。
这个哈，哇，这看的真是很原始。
就是也是动物皮。
这是怎么穿的？
这个我们穿的那个就这样的，里面穿的就这样。
哦，后背上。
里面背上穿的。那个原来我们那个打仗的时候，老把那个打仗的时候，那个射箭呀这样的时候，那个打不了吧那个。
哦，这真进不去了。
就这样。
哇。哦，看来都是。Oh, that should be the. This is really interesting because it's very obvious from the way they dress. A lot of it was dressed for the mountain climate from their hunting tradition. And when he said they go into battle, that thing he wore first was a bit like a cape, and then the thing afterwards was a tunic. And you see that quite. I guess you can say it's common among people who are sort of hunter warriors all across the world. It's quite rare to see something like that now, I think.
这个我们南头当帽子。这个样那个看刀呀，看剑呀，那个打不了那个。
然后这个是挡后背是吧？
这个我们后面的。后面的。就这样穿的。
哇。
后面那个我们这种刀看的时候呢看不了。
那其实咱们男装都是为了那个打仗和那个
打仗
都
就是
重要哈。
有时候打仗的用啊，我们那个民族特色穿的就这个。
我可以看一下您的那个刀也是咱们原来自己做的。
这个刀那个原来的刀。
哇。See, it's got animal fur. It's wrapped in leather.
原来的刀。
哇。
这我们有一个长刀，有一个短刀，我们3个刀有。有男士那个穿的3个刀，还有我们那个剑弓有剑呀弓呀那个有，这种剑的那个。
这都是 Wow, ancient. Look at that.
就这个的话，那个有毒，里面
有毒啊？
毒？
什么毒？
毒那个我们自己做的。
自己做。
毒那个什么那个动物，狗熊呀，还有动物有多吧，其他有动物有多。这样的话，这个打的话，那个它跑不了。
是。
50公里的左右，它马上就飞了。
哇，
这个打。
That is incredible. The lobo. I mean, I guess they don't live like this anymore because now that they've moved down, everyone's farming. But you can tell totally this is such an ancient way of life. Hunter herdsmen, I guess. Poison arrows, armored leather. I guess protection for head, for their back, for their chest. I did not expect this. 那这现在没上毒吧？我碰了就没事了。Zawa says there are fewer than 10,000 ethnic Loba people, and that their culture is slowly being lost as the older generations pass away. Times have changed for these mountain hunters, and without people like Dawa, their traditions may soon just become a memory, or a faded colour photograph. Coming up next, I'll head to one of the gems of Tibet, learn the secrets behind an island that's almost out of this world, and get treated to a special rendition of Gongbul Tibetan song and dance. In this episode of Travelogue, join me in the Tibet Autonomous Region as I continue my journey through Linzhi Prefecture. From the lost traditions of the Lorba people to the musical stylings of Gongbul Tibetans, we'll find out that Linzhi people are just as eclectic as their surroundings. From Bayi town, we're driving 120 kilometers to one of Linzhi's, if not Tibet's, most beautiful destinations, Basongto. Admittedly, it does take us a lot longer than it should to get there, as we're often sidetracked by the beautiful roadside scenery. Most people come to Tibet in summer, but spring is Linzhi's time to shine, and you'll find many tourists, photographers, and even cyclists coming here from Lhasa and beyond.
哎，您好，那个可以打扰一下吗？那个我看一路你们都一直跟我们一块儿骑着，我们停一下车你们就骑过了，骑得很快。你们从哪儿过来的呀？
我们是从湖南那边坐火车坐到昆明那边。
坐到昆明，
从大理出发。
然后从大理一直骑到这儿。
对。
那准备
中途没坐车。
那准备骑到哪儿？
骑到拉萨。
那你得有3、4，
还有3天就可以了。
一共多少公里？
一共400公里。
400公里？
没有，从大理的话，从林芝出发400公里。林芝到拉萨是400公里嘛？
那总共你们得骑1个月了吧？
没有，骑1个月，20天。
目前感觉怎么样？
还好，状态挺好的。
辛苦。那你们都一个在后边是吗？
对。
什么那个吃的、水、衣服、
用的。
那你睡觉怎么办啊？
睡觉住酒店嘛。
那你们不搭帐篷？
我们不搭帐篷，毕竟这个天气太冷了。
那你们一会儿去哪个地方？
前面9公里休息。
9公里休息。
今天的目的是那个公布江达吧？
那我们正好也去。可以。那我们就跟你们比赛了。
可以。
我们可以等一会儿啊。
好。
行，那我们先不打扰你们了。一会儿吃饭啊。
好，谢谢，拜拜。
加油！等我们加拿大。
We're going to race on ahead of the lads towards Gombujiangda County, home to the fabled Basam Tor.
Well, this is quite possibly one of the most serene lakes I've ever seen. This is Basam Tor, probably one of the most sacred lakes in the Linju prefecture. And apparently this colour changes throughout the day. In the morning it's yellow, in the afternoon it becomes this kind of milky azure, and in the evening it turns grey. But the major point about this is that if the sun's out, it's even more beautiful. And we were kind of worried because the whole way it was raining, it was snowing, and it looked like the sun wasn't going to show. But as soon as we arrived, guess who came out? Luck? Or maybe we're just too awesome. The weather here is so freaky. The sun's still out, and now it suddenly started snowing. If you look over there, that mountain's almost completely covered in mist. Maybe this place really is a bit sacred. Something different about it.
Sometimes called Tuogao Lake, meaning green water, Basam Tor sits at a dizzying 3,700 meters above sea level and is a sacred lake for the Nyingma, or Red Hat branch of Tibetan Buddhism. In it sits Jasi Island, home to the modest Tuosong Monastery that incredibly was founded 1200 to 1300 years ago when Buddhism first entered Tibet. I want to know more.
哎，这是嘞，你好，你好，哎，你好，你好。那个，咱们这个寺庙特别有意思，我可以问问咱们这个历史吗？那个可以问他一下，咱们这个寺庙听说有好多神奇的故事。
对。
是怎么回事
？This is going to sound impossible, but my guide Rangmo tells me that this island is hollow. Which, believe it or not, means that the island and the ground that I'm standing on right now is floating.
就一直是空气的，一直飘着。
对，他们的这通着的。我们这边说掉了什么东西下去，然后过几年那边会浮出来。
真的吗？
这样子的，但是是通的那种。
那我一会儿可以把我相机掉到水里，然后看那边能不能找到。
Jokes aside, another peculiar aspect of the monastery are the white totems by the stairs. You've probably figured out what they are. Genitals. They hark back to pre-Buddhist times when the worship of animism and reproductive organs was commonplace. Rangmo says they help keep away bad spirits and also represent ancient Tibetans, who back then obviously wore no clothes.
示，所以我们就只能进去看一下。
Leave the camera here. Yeah, fun. Oh, so there's a High Lama, a living Buddha inside, so I'll let you know how it goes.
Despite its small size, Chorsong Monastery is immensely important. I'm told that Padmasambhava, the sage who effectively brought Buddhism to Tibet, passed by here on his way to Lhasa in the 8th century. Seen as he's often regarded as the founder of the Nyingma branch of Tibetan Buddhism, it's no wonder why Chorsong Monastery and Basam Tor have become popular pilgrimage sites for Tibetans all across China. You can tell by all the stone piles pilgrims left here as a sign of their piety.
You know, you can see peach blossoms pretty much everywhere in China, but coming here, it's a completely different experience. I mean, right behind me is the ancient lamasery that was built pretty much right after Buddhism came to Tibet. And in front, the sacred lake of Basam Tor, and even further, snow-capped mountains. And I'm sure that all of these manipals represents everyone else's wishes to come here just for this experience.
This is the song of the Gongbul Tibetans who live by Basam Tor. It's something of a favourite, being passed down orally to every Gongbul Tibetan and performed by all ages, including this 73-year-old lady. Though I can't understand the lyrics, I know that this song comes from the hearts of those who live in a land blessed by beauty. Of course, beauty must be celebrated, and what better way than through the most primal method of all, dance. This is the traditional gung dance, which when performed fully takes 3 hours to complete. Thankfully, we're just being given a taster today. I find it almost hypnotic, especially when two dancers square off in a kind of dance duel in a manner that reminds me of capoeira.
It's such a fascinating dance. I have no idea. Well, I would have had no idea what they were doing if it wasn't for one. Apparently, this dance, as far as they know, has been around for 3,000 years. And although the masks look quite fearsome, you know, they've got frills that look a bit like that little dinosaur from Jurassic Park, and they've got like really scary faces. The mask is actually for a female goddess, the protective goddess of Basam Tor and the Jassi temple. And when they do this dance, it's to celebrate her, it's to, you know, ask for further protective help from her, and also to thank her. And they only dance this on Tibetan New Year, so this is a very special dance just for us.
A bit like in Peking Opera, only Gombu Tibetan men are allowed to perform this dance, despite their deity being female. When the mask's frills are pulled down, the guys symbolically transform into ladies. Now, they're free to perform the remaining parts of the dance that must be carried out as members of the fairer sex. Coming up next, I'll sit down to a good old-fashioned home-cooked meal and learn about the lives of the Gombu Tibetans who've made their home in northwestern Linju. You can find Gombu Jiangda County on the northwestern edge of Linju, a 3-hour drive from the prefectural capital of Bayi town. Come here early in the morning for the perfect picture of idyllic rustic life.
So not far from Basam Tour is this place, Jieba village, which is pretty unique in the sense that almost everyone here is Gombu Tibetan, a particular branch of Tibetans, and as you can see, things are a bit different over here.
Unlike most Tibetan houses that are made of stone, here lumber is so plentiful that each family home has entire walls of firewood stacked so high they almost look like fortifications. Don't let that put you off though, because people here are warm and inviting, and their food even more so.
So if it looks a bit like we're eating in someone's house right now, that's because we are. We're in Jieba village, and most of the houses here are family-run guest houses, so you can come in, you can stay upstairs, and Basam Tour is not very far away from here. But the biggest difference about this village is that everyone here is Gombu Tibetan, and now we're sitting down to a very traditional Gombu Tibetan meal. Give you a bit of an introduction. This is... Okay, so flour balls in yak butter. This is potato dumplings, momo. That's really good. It's like putting potato mash into a dumpling. So you get kind of the double the floury, wheaty flavour. I think this would be better if they had some spice to dip it in, but this is great as it is.
Thanks to its lush surroundings, Jieba village has become more of a tourist hotspot in recent years. If you're the kind of traveller that likes having the entire place to yourself, and you want to see Gombu Tibetan life in its most unadulterated form, I know just the place. And it's only 10 kilometers from Jieba village.
So we drove for half an hour out of Jieba village across some really bumpy mountainous roads to come here. This place is called Tsuogao village, and honestly there's nothing to see here. It's not a tourist destination, but this is the best place to come and see how Gombu Tibetans have lived for centuries. I mean, some of the houses here are 600 years old. This one is 400 years old and only recently crumbled to how it looks right now. But if you want to see how people used to live centuries ago and still live without pretty much any changes, this is the place to be.
This village doesn't get many outsiders, and locals will be just as curious about you as you are about them, which makes for great conversation.
So this is the real deal. Check it out. It's pretty light, you know. The blade is pretty long. It's not very sharp. I guess it's mainly used to
cut bits of meat for dinner. But what I'm really interested is these symbols. You've got 2 stars here and these 2 crescents here, 2 crescents over there. I don't know what that means. It would be really cool if it denoted the amount of, bandits that once upon a time fell at the hand of this, but it's a dream. 还给您了吧，我觉得太危险了，我不敢拿。哎，谢谢啊。
Although now relatively dilapidated, you can tell the village was once quite big. However, because of its isolation and the younger generation leaving for bigger towns, this village is slowly wilting. Perhaps, in a few more years, it'll be gone. But for now, some things are still being kept alive. These ladies are treating a special kind of cloth that is used to make Gombo Tibetan clothes. From what I understand, they need to dry it over a fire and then scrape off any inconsistencies with a brush. It's hard work, especially given Linju's temperamental weather. As luck would have it, a flurry of April snow sends the ladies back inside and us on our way back home.
I can't believe it! We're just on our way back from Bassam Tour, and just look at this, the weather is totally unpredictable. I mean, it was sunny 1 minute and now it's pelting down with snow. This place is absolutely unpredictable.
I think unpredictable is a great way to describe Linju. Its weather, its landscapes and its people have shown me there's way more to Tibet than I ever thought. So make sure to watch the next episode of Travelogue and to join me in exploring Linju.
你是穿的，你是穿的那个一头一头那个，这个一头，那个一头，那个一头。哦，这个是我们穿的那个，什么衣服？
这些特别有意思。
这个是我们那个女士的那个什么戴的那个
手杖
戴手。
哦，哎，你好，你好。
I can't imagine how all this jewelry is supposed to be worn, but here's where Dawa's daughter comes to the rescue.
那咱们怎么染的这个颜色？
这个颜色，这以前的话，我们那个山羊毛，山羊毛那个我们自己那个烧啊。
So when you come to Tibet, I bet that fruit picking probably isn't at the top of your list. But Linju is a bit of a unique case. When you think of Tibet, you kind of think of, massive mountains and the kind of barren landscape you get at 4,000 meters above sea level. But here in Milin, in particular, vegetables and fruit grow really well, particularly because of the climate. You have loads of sun, you have a great source of water in the form of the Niyang River, you have really good soil. Of China, they used to live up in the mountains and they've now moved down here where life is slightly easier. They have their own language, their own customs. They don't speak Tibetan at all, but they live in this corner of Tibet. They used to have loads of ancient customs and traditions which have more or less been lost now, but I've been introduced to a gentleman who can tell me a bit about the old Lobber ways of life. 哎，达瓦老师，咱们这些我都不知道从哪开始，这都是您自己做的吗？
这个是我自己做的。以前的话，我们这个东西那个。
And the altitude is only 2,000 meters above sea level on average. So that's why every time, when it comes to summer, you get loads of tourists coming here to pick fruits and vegetables and have their own taste of Tibet.
Thanks to the lush climate here, Linju is one of the few places in Tibet where fruits and vegetables are not more expensive than meat. I am really excited because we've come to Taizhao village, which is home to the ethnic Loba people, the least populous ethnic minority in all of In this episode of Travelogue, join me in the Tibet Autonomous Region as I continue my journey through Linzhi Prefecture. From the lost traditions of the Loba people to the musical stylings of Gongbu Tibetans, we'll find out that Linzhi people are just as eclectic as their surroundings.